Lone Star beer?
Lone Star beer is available in shops, stores, and marketplaces. It is proudly brought to you by Soso Premium. For sales and inquiries, call cell number +231 555 364105. Lone Star beer. Drink responsibly for 18 years and above.
For my African girls, my American girls.
What? I tell you, every day for car to go to the bank, then the traffic is not easy. By the time you reach the last, that will make you scared. Hey man, I was shopping for my children for the Christmas season.
You are here too hard. What can carry you to the bank again? You can get tired? Every day, bang, bang, bang. How much your account sell before you wasting transportation?
I know, that just smart you. I want to go shopping for my children for the season.
But you need to go to the bank. You can pay right from your phone.
You, Lehana?
Well, I thought the last time I downloaded the EcoBank mobile app for you.
Yes, I still got it.
So you can use it. Go on the app and go to pay merchant. You can scan and pay for your goods. You can also buy LEC credit. You can pay your water bill. You can buy scratch card all right from your telephone.
I forgot. I remember I used it to shop it at the supermarket before.
So you can use it again. It's also available at restaurants, boutiques, hotels, and even provision shops all over Liberia. Just make use of the EcoBank mobile app this Christmas season and avoid that stress of standing in the queue.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Your favorite RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770 533 415 or email us at reservations@kendejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkendejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating. By popular request, your number one people-centered radio station, OKFM 99.5, once again presents the OK Health Walk under the theme, Promoting a Healthy Lifestyle for a Healthy Nation. On December 14th at 6 a.m. prompt, we will be walking from Congo Town opposite the SOS Clinic through the principal streets of Senko to the Antoinette Tubman Stadium, where the health walk will be climaxed with free health screening and refreshments. To all fans, ardent listeners of OKFM, social and fitness clubs, our fellow media colleagues, one and all, come join us to climax the year with a healthy lifestyle
while we create the environment for great networking opportunities for your various businesses. The energy is going to be electrifying with live brass band music to keep us alive and energized. To be a sponsor of this OKFM landmark event, reach out to the business office where a special media package
awaits you. Mark your calendars. On December 14th, OKFM shuts the city down. Health is wealth, so join us in promoting that healthy lifestyle. And with OK, everything is okay. See you on December 14th.
Yes, indeed. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. It is important. Let's take this fact check. First of all, before we come back Very important fact check segment right here with our partners, local voices. This is the OK Conversation.
Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. Today, we will be fact checking claims made in the last couple of days. On December 1, Spoon TV claimed in a Facebook post that Ethiopian Airlines had returned to Liberia to resume flights after more than 4 decades. This claim was also shared by several media outlets as President Joseph Boakai welcomed the airline's decision to resume flights to Liberia. We fact-checked this claim by reviewing Ethiopian Airlines history. The records show that Ethiopian Airlines began operating flights to Liberia in 1961, connecting Addis Ababa with Monrovia and marking the first direct air link between Eastern and Western Africa. Further research revealed a 2024 publication by Aerorites, which confirmed that Ethiopian Airlines last served Monrovia in September 2010. From 2010 to 2024 spans 4 decades and 4 additional years, not more than 4 decades, as claimed by Spoon TV. Based on these findings, we conclude that Spoon TV's claim that Ethiopian Airlines is returning to Liberia after more than 4 decades is misleading. Ethiopian Airlines began operating flights to Liberia in 1961 and continued until 2010 when it stopped flight to Liberia. On November 27, several social media posts claimed that the Ministry of Transport had announced new transportation fares following a recent reduction in petroleum prices. Among those sharing these posts were LTA Commissioner Patrick Horner and Cornelia Kruger, a Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of State. To verify these claims, we review a video featuring Shadrach Brown, spokesperson for the Ministry of Transport, during his appearance on the OK Afternoon Conversation. Brown clarified that the ministry has not released any new transportation fares since August 2014, and the current fares remain unchanged. He explained that the fare adjustments are only made when the reduction in petroleum prices reaches a threshold of 0.50 cents or 100 Liberian dollars. Brown labeled the circulations making rounds on social media as fake and misleading, noting that they are intended to create division and incite public sentiment against the government. Based on our research and official clarification from the Ministry of Transport, we conclude that the claims regarding newly released transportation fares are misleading. The current fares established in early August 2014 remain in effect. On November 25, Margibi County District 5 Representative Clarence Guy claimed on Pram FM that the rules governing the House of Representatives spell out that should members revoke their confidence in the Speaker, a new Speaker must be elected. He argued that this election could take place on the same day as the previous Speaker's removal. To verify this claim, we review the House of Representatives rules and procedures and found it to be correct. According to Rule 10, when the office of the Speaker becomes vacant due to removal, death, resignation, inability, or other disabilities, the Deputy Speaker shall act as Speaker until a new Speaker is elected within 60 days. This indicates that while there is a time frame for electing new Speaker, it does not prevent an election from occurring immediately following the removal of the incumbent. Well, this is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia and OKFM, Pram FM, and Cool FM to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by Internews through the Liberia Media Empowerment Project. If you want us to fact-check claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0777 556296 and we will check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, Twitter at LVL Factcheck, and go to our website at www.localvoicesliberia.com. The founder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this fact check segment. I'm Siawe Miapu. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
And welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. GhanaMPs.com is reporting that Chairman of the Community Parliament Committee on Political Affairs, Peace, Security, and African Peer Review Mechanism, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow Jr., is leading the Parliament's delegation to observe Ghana's December 7, 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Other lawmakers among the delegation are Senu Soklingbe, Kone Nyaganjomo, Awaji Imombek Dagomi Abiante, Rosa Lopez Rocha, Veronica Kadisize, and Bio Sika Abdel Kamal Wazaga. Staff members on the delegation are Dr. Adesina Sotumino, Dr. Edwin D. Miller Jr., and Caesar Winimi Ayamba. The delegation will be arriving in Ghana on Tuesday, December 3, 2024, ahead of Saturday, December 7, 2024 general elections. The Community Court of Justice will also send representatives to observe the election. In an earlier interview, the head of the Electoral Assistance Division of ECOWAS, Serinye Mamaduka, noted that 100 election observers will be deployed on December 7, 2024. So Senator Snow will be leading the ECOWAS delegation of the election observers to Ghana for the election on December 7. We were able to obtain the letter written to him as well from Mohamed Kabir Gaba, Director of Parliamentary Affairs and Research for the Secretary General, which says, I have the honor of informing you, he said, Honorable Chair, I have the honor of informing you that the Right Honorable Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Haja Memunatu Ibrahima, has nominated you to lead the delegation of Parliament's observers who will be participating in the ECOWAS Observer Mission to the Republic of Ghana. The dates of the mission are from 3rd to 10 December 2024. In this regard, you are kindly requested to confirm your participation and send a data page, blah, 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 blah. So that is that. Senator Snow will be heading that delegation. It is a good thing for the country. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Another good thing for the country, is that Liberia has been nominated to host the 8th Association of African Maritime Administrations International Conference, which will be held December 1, 2025. Next year, by the same time next year, Liberia will be hosting the 8th Association of African Maritime Administration International Conference here. So all the maritime organizations in different African countries will be converging on Monrovia a year from today, next year, and that will be okay. Another thing to report is that Councillor Bono Vama has overwhelmingly emerged as the new president of the Liberia National Bar Association following its 2024 National Convention in Gantanima County. Congratulations to you, sir. I remember before their previous election, I think it was one of those I interviewed here. This time around, we didn't interview them. But congratulations to you and all the corps of officers elected to steer the affairs of the elite Bar Association. Another good thing for the country is that President Joseph Newman Boakai has welcomed Ethiopian Airlines resumption of flights to Liberia. So in 2010 thereabouts, they stopped coming to Liberia. And usually the first major reason why an airline will stop going to a country, the first major reason will be financial. That is, if they're not getting more passengers to fly their destination, you know, it is expensive to operate a flight to and from any country. So if they notice that they're not making profit from a particular route, then they will change course. If they notice that business is going well, more and more people traveling from that end and they could make profit, then they will operate from there. So in 2010, they stopped and perhaps looking at other airlines that are flying here, giving data that they've been reviewing from other areas. They say, okay, that's one reason. Some of the other reasons could be security concerns, other reasons could be the runway, the issue of risk factors and all of that. But so Ethiopian Airlines came back. It is not Liberia Airlines. It's not the airline is not for Liberia. It's not for Liberians. The only good thing is they will pay taxes, and perhaps it could help to decrease cost of air tickets. When you have more airlines, maybe if people were spending more to go to Ethiopia, or I don't know why it would be the route, whether it's going straight from here to Ethiopia, it's stopping somewhere else, but if it could help to decrease cost, maybe. So it is Ethiopian Airline. It's not Liberian Airline. It's not. It is a business that was here that decided to come back, right? And they will pay some taxes here, and that is that. So that's another good thing. So, the country lost Senator Prince Johnson on Thursday of last week, and a whole lot of things have been happening. A whole lot of fallouts. He was a controversial figure, quite enigmatic, mercurial, unpredictable. The only predictability about him was his unpredictability. So that's the new and the new about him. His unpredictability was predictable. So people could not be sure of what he would do about a certain thing or not. That was his predictability of being unpredictable. Now, so since his death, there have been some issues that have happened. The president's birthday 80th birthday was last week as well, and celebration of that. The regular political critiques, of course, because of past critiques as well. But I think, I like the fact that we're getting to a saturation point in the country. We are getting to the point where everybody's realizing certain truths. Maybe you will not be fooled during elections again for you to turn against people or vote against people because these will enjoy themselves while in power. Because the seeming reality is people will pretend that they will not do it, but they will do it. People will say, oh, they papi, oh man, he won't have time for all those pleasure, blah blah blah. But the first family may have 3 or 4 different, celebrations, whether it's birthday or anniversaries and those kinds of things. I don't have a problem with that. And an 80th birthday is a milestone to reach. It is no joke. I think it should be celebrated. How it is celebrated is another thing, but I think it should be. It's about, what was said before about others, other presidents, other people in power, and celebration. So those are the reasons why. But thank God now we're getting to a point that we know that everybody can do it. And then there has been this discussion about should it have happened given the fact that 2 days earlier the country had lost Senator Johnson. The way I see that is how a person, I was telling some colleagues, how people react to a person's death is usually based on their relationship, proximity to that person. Yeah. Certain people close to Senator Johnson, even if their birthday is, he should be buried January next year, right? Even if their birthday is in by the end of December or the beginning of January, they will not celebrate because of their proximity, because of what they think he meant to them. Maybe he did not mean that to the president or those who attended the birthday or all of that. So you can really restrict or control what people do as a result of a death situation, because those are things that must come from the heart. It will be dependent on how you viewed or how close somebody was to you. We may be on the outside and perceive, oh, the man was instrumental in the election of President Boakai, but maybe it was not. Maybe it was just a transactional thing. Maybe there was not a close relationship and all of that. If it were other people very close to the president, perhaps he would have canceled all of those things. Yeah. So it's always about proximity. It is about what someone means to you. Eyebrows were raised. I think people saw the vice president on video going there, giving his relationship to the president, to the late senator. But he found himself in a very tough situation. His godfather, political godfather, and someone who brought him into all of the issues about politics, was quite supportive of him, died. 2 days later, his bossman, who is the president of the country, is celebrating his birthday. That's a tough space to be in. And you can understand why he will pass there, he will go there. Given what the country is, So these are always matters of the heart. I cannot critique someone if I don't know what their relationship with the president has been. Of course, if you replay the scenario and put somebody else in the executive mansion who is not a unity partisan, and they celebrated a birthday, maybe Senator Johnson was instrumental in that person coming to power, and they celebrated birthday two days after Senator Johnson's death. The Unity Party, with their propaganda prowess, will have pounded. Oh, it would have been, from their stalwarts and supporters, it would have been something they would have pounded. They would have come down hard. But that's how the politics works. That's why I always say, thankfully, we are getting to a saturation point. Now, certain things that we said yesterday, the realities are unfolding. Then there was the handshake thing. Former President Weah is going to, he released a statement last week on the death of Senator Johnson. He spoke about it at his church, expressing condolences, and he talked about how he and Senator Johnson had reached out to him for them to meet on Saturday, the past Saturday. Unfortunately, he died. And then he went to the house. Nyanti posted a video of him apparently refusing a handshake in a greeting, but greeting in a different style. It became quite an issue. And I saw that the MDR even released a statement. I don't know why they did so, but I think it was ill-advised. They are the ones who lost their godfather, their political leader, and everything. I do not think at that point of their grieving they should have got involved in those petty things. And the only thing I said on social media that I'll repeat here is for you to go on Yanti's page and watch that video. What I know about greeting is the person who initiated the greeting, the way they will greet you, is how you should respond. At least that's what I know, what a diplomatically or what kind of way. So if someone came here and they try bossing me, they're going to get called boss. Or you can do the punch at it. That's the same way. Someone can be bossing me, then I open my hand to shake their boss. No, you boss me, I boss you. You wave, I wave. If I shake your hand, you shake my hand. If you hear my name Julius, I say, yeah, I do it myself. That's how it is. Naturally, that's how it should flow. So go back to the video and see who initiated what. Then people get there. Yeah. Go back. Just watch the video on Yanti's page. It is there. Watch who you will see we are bowing, we ran into a chairs and bowing slightly. You will see Representative Koga stretching out his hand as well. I think Vice President Kuhn also, you can see like trying to extend his hand, and he brought it back and bowed a little, and then they walked together after everything. We all spoke to the press and he left. So go and watch the video and see how it is. Then you know who was wrong if you want to find who was wrong. I know people say it is petty, yeah, but these are socio-cultural issues that will always feed into the politics. So they may not be the hardcore issues of the economy, of education, of health, of advancement, technology, that should move the country forward. But they are socio-cultural, they go into socio-political cohesion. They could affect those kinds of things. People take those kinds of things to heart. And that's why sometimes it is okay to talk about them. The more received a document which says about 88 people have been dismissed for what they say is abandonment of job.
Operation, by extension, the Monrovia City Police has been going through a number of reforms to ensure that we do a better job for the Liberian people. Yes, I can confirm to you that several officers of the city police have been displaced over time, and this is dating back to even the previous leadership of the Monrovia City Police. So that is something that I can confirm to you this afternoon. And like I'm saying, the dismissal of these officers, especially under the current administration, is basically part of the reform process to ensure that we intensify the disciplinary system that the CFR's leadership at the MCC is trying to institute.
Okay, but Vanny, so that we are clear, on this list, I'm seeing 88 people who were dismissed between March 10, 2024 to October 2024. So these are 88 people under your administration. Am I correct?
That's what I'm saying. Some of the people that were dismissed have been under the administration or leadership of the previous city police commander.
But in this case, the months of their dismissal range from March 10, 2024 to October 2024. So obviously, it is the current city management that has taken these actions, isn't it?
So let us get the specificity of the issue. So what? It is under the current MCC. But you are also trying to know if it is under the current administration of the Monrovia City Police. So yes, it is under the current MCC, and like I indicated from the inception, these have been happening over a period of time. And basically, we can provide the reasons why the actions have been taken against these officers.
Okay, yeah. Why have they been dismissed?
Good. So, as stated, as part of the reform process, the authorities at the MCP have been instituting a lot of systems to ensure that our officers are not only professional, but that we curtail the issue of theft of time, we curtail the issue of people not working, but yet wanting to receive salaries. So most of these officers were dismissed under various categories ranging from theft, and a bulk number of them were dismissed for abandonment of job. Julius,
what does abandonment of job mean?
Julius, it will surprise you to note that people will have their names on payroll and they will sit home for several months running. Some of them we're talking about 4 or 5 months running, not reporting to work, but expect to be kept in the system. So how it is done is this. The administration at the MCP
I don't know what's happening. The network. Yeah, can you repeat what you said?
Good. So I was saying to you that we have a bulk number of these people who were displaced for abandonment of job and theft. So this is the issue. People sit home 4 or 5 months not reporting to work and expect to be kept on payroll. People will leave their job assignment and expect to be kept on payroll. So the Monrovia City Police, through their own system, will investigate their officers and make recommendations to the HR department at the Monrovia City Corporation head office here. And based on the recommendations that are proffered, the HR also institute measures.
Okay, good. So are you going to fill in those positions?
Certainly, Julius, that is going to happen. But as we speak, and I keep emphasizing on this reform process, before someone wears the uniform within the MCP, what we are intending to ensure is that there is a thorough vetting process. We're going to ensure that when officers are incorporated in the system, that people are not just going to sit home and expect that at the end of the month they receive salaries. That is not going to happen under this system. And I can confirm to you, this is something that we should not only talk about, but also celebrate. This happens globally, Julius. If you were to do your own research from the
NY, people losing their jobs, and you want us to celebrate, Vanny?
No, I'm telling you, for the actions being taken. Oh yes, Julius. If you left OKFM and do not report to do your work, certainly actions will be taken against you.
Okay.
It is not about 88 persons losing their job. It is about the factors that led to those people being laid out of the payroll.
Thanks so kindly, Vanny, for taking our call. We sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you, Julius, and we are more than willing to speak to this issue now and even tomorrow when you call on us.
Okay. His name is Vanny D, spokesman of the Monrovia City Corporation. You listen to them. Hope some of you who are dismissed, hope we can get to you. Hope we can speak to you as well. Let's go. The National Elections Commission as well. Some people have been dismissed. You remember the people who talk about who were protesting? Was it last week or so? week before last. Action has been taken. A whole lot of things have been done. Okay, yeah, this question slipped my mind. This person, was there verbal or written warning before dismissal? I should have asked him. Yeah, that's a very good question. It slipped. But let's let me get the. So let us speak with Rennie Wakai Gligba. He's I think the head of the aggrieved NEC workers, National Elections Commission workers. We are not sure of the number of people dismissed. I'm hearing over 40, I'm hearing over 70, but he would tell us. Mr. Gligba, welcome to the OK Conversation.
Thank you.
I have received different communications, letters of dismissal of some people who have been employees of the National Elections Commission. Is this true?
It's true, and I'll take it as a joke.
Are you part of those that were dismissed?
No. Up to now, I've not received letter, though I'm expecting one, but I've not received any letter.
But how many people do you know so far have been dismissed?
I saw 17 letters.
17. Okay, good.
So far.
So far, okay. Now, in one of these termination letters, it says you are hereby dismissed, effective immediately, for having shown disrespect and gross insubordination to the office of the chairperson. During the period of November 12 to 2024, you left your area of assignment, blocked the commission's entrances, and prevented the chairperson from entering to carry out her duties. Furthermore, this action of yours obstructed the functions of the commission, paralyzed its operations, and negatively impacted the image of the commission. Upon receipt of this communication, you are required to turn over all next properties in your possession to the Human Resource Section. This is quite grave. Why did you people do all of these things, allegedly?
Okay, the first thing is false. At no time was the chairperson blocked from entering. Though we were protesting, peaceful protest, but our just demand, our just benefits. So that has been our demand. We protested, but at no time we have blocked the door from allowing the chairperson or any other person from entering the net compound. No, because we know the law, so we not go and contravene the law. We protested on the grounds of the Elections Commission. We protested in front of the building, but we had no time to block anybody entrance, neither the chairperson.
Well, how are people dismissed from NEC?
Normally, it is first thing, he who hires fires. He who hires fires.
Yeah, is there a process by which people are dismissed? Are they supposed to be warned 1, 2, 3 times before being dismissed and all of that? That's what I'm asking.
No, there have been no warning. In fact, before you dismiss, there should be a warning letter. There should be a warning letter. And who hires fire? So the person, the Human Resource Director, Pauline Kokoya, and the ED, those are the people that are dismissing people. And they are not, they are totally respect, because if you see my employment letter, and another person, it was signed by the chairperson. That letter did not say by directive of the chairperson or by directive of the board of commissioners. So this is why I'm going to ask a joke. Who does that?
Okay.
So people are there asking for their just benefit. Why will you fire me?
So what are you people going to do about this?
Oh, we already, the first thing I think if you saw what United sent to you, we responded to that letter of dismissal. We are also writing the Senate. We are writing back to the mansion, because the mansion, the president put a committee together in committee for the next grievances to hear our story, and it's still being handled. So why in the midst of discussion, why will you come and say you're firing people? So I just feel that the chairperson does not know even what's going on, because they say it is by directive of the chairperson. I tell you one other citation, but one
I've seen an inter-office memo. I've seen an inter-office memorandum that says December 2, 2024, by the director of the chairperson, the commission is hereby closed today, November 2, 2024, for the holidays. Senior staff will be called upon when needed. All staff will resume work on January 3, 2025. Thanks for usual cooperation. Is that how you usually do it at the end of the year, early in December? Offices
we normally close around the 20th or the 22nd. So they got previous reason. This is why they're doing that. They don't want next staff to be there because the place will be audited. They want to carry on some instructions of documents that they have, financial documents. In fact, as we speak, some financial documents are already, we're seeing the pieces of them. Go to on sites, so things that they want to carry on, this is why they're doing what they're doing.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, Mr. Gleebach, for filling us in.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Okay. And I must say to people that before coming on air, I reached out to the communications department of NEC concerning this issue, and I was told that they have no idea of these happenings so far. So that is why we're not able to we cannot call them again, because they are not aware, they don't know of dismissals and all those kinds of things. We are anticipating Dr. Jerry Kula at 4 p.m. Let's go to the lines now. I'm sure we've exhausted all that we needed to talk about on today. And on the issue of the fact check segment and the transport thing, this issue of gasoline, has the price of gasoline come down? Yes, it has. The factors that determine prices coming down of gasoline sometimes is mostly international, and sometimes the government relies certain tariffs. If the price globally is down, locally it's also going to be down. If the price goes up globally to a certain extent, governments can sometimes intervene with certain measures, but it is still going to go up. But it has come down because globally too, it is down. But the price is not, the government's price is not what you see with the cam boys. Even government is against cam boys. From time to time, they've been trying to get them off the roads. So the price is that $3.90-something for gasoline, $4 for fuel. You put in LG 700 plus and 800 plus. Those are the actual prices. That's why it was wrong for government officials to run with cam-board prices, because that's not the government's price. And the government is not supposed to promote illegality. You cannot be an official of government and you promote illegality at the expense of gas stations that are paying taxes and everything to government for doing legal business. But you see the way the politics affects us in this country, sometimes it's just sad, People always want to prove points. When you government, you come to power, when you are elected, it's a contract. The things you should do, you should deliver on them, you should do them. It's not a special favor you do it for anybody. It is the job that you're elected to do. You can't try to make it over fine. The price has come down significantly than what it was. Yes. When it goes up too, when things happen internationally, when it goes up, then you should be able to find the explanation. Well, let's take your calls on 0777 700 995 555 995 995. Let's be realistic in this country as we deal with the issues. Welcome, let's hear you.
Yes. Good afternoon, Judah. Yes, I'm Wilson Johnson, phoning you from the Queer Intellectual Center based in Judah. Let me be clear. The government official for good news. So for everything in that, it will not be correct on the government angle. So government astonishing to the Liberian where you see other government officials putting and imposing gathering press that we know that it is not a legitimate press when it comes to those legitimate people. They will always wait for good news. It is today you see.
Hello? You went off? Or you're harmonized? Okay. Sorry, we're not hearing you. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Cheers, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Oh my God. The airplane here currently driving in here.
Go ahead.
Cheers, I have a few points. And let me just make round it up quickly. You see, was it necessary for our president to celebrate 80th birthdays? I will say yes. Was it necessary to celebrate after the death of Senator Johnson? I say no. Given the fact that our president has had two massive celebrations. He celebrated his wife's birthday. He celebrated his anniversary. This time around, in good faith, in respect to the people of Nima County, he should have postponed or canceled whatever celebration he had, or even
well, in this case, it becomes individualistic. It's about, was he that close to Senator Johnson as we think? Did he hold him at heart like we think it should be?
Julius, like I said the other day, the number one influencer in our body politics have been Prince Johnson. Almost all of the side he took him out to be victim.
But what if that kind of relationship was viewed as transactional by the now president? Why if he doesn't see anything special after the whatever transaction was done in one election? That's it. Maybe nothing special.
Then that's the hypocrisy in it. And that's the hypocrisy. Let me just run up quickly on the issue of the handshake. Julius, the handshake has become more important to this nation than the poor health system, the bad roads, kids not in school, unemployment, drugs, Ghost Yellow Machine, 300 buses, 25 million flat scholarship. All of these serious national concerns we have, and people want to waste their time around about handshake. Where was the NDR people when the late Prince Johnson complained that the current president refused to take his call? Where were they? Did they come out to say anything? They didn't say anything. Okay. What happened yesterday? The issue of the handshake, they tried to bury the fact that we Liberians are not happy, or Liberians are not happy with the massive birthday celebration while Senator Johnson is in the mortuary.
Okay.
That's the point.
Thanks so kindly, Eric. Let's see who's right here. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello, Julius.
Yes, go ahead quickly.
Thank you. I'm Musa Kone, and I speak from Lower Maghibit County, Dua County. I first want to disagree with you, probably for the first time. And like Eric said, I don't think it was necessary. Let not even who the late senator has been anybody who want to call initiator, who campaign, who supported President Boakai. But the fact that he is a president, that alone should be a relationship.
So Musa, I didn't say the president was right or wrong. My point is the way I viewed, and I was speaking from a social relational point of view. The way I will react to the death of someone will be dependent on how close I am to that person. That's the point I'm making.
Now, as Junior J, it's understandable. Even me, it's understandable. But at that level, no. Fast forward, I also think that I will call it witch hunt. I mean, that sounds rational here. I will call it witch hunt that the government started. I think they will end the end. Julius, if you can remember.
Witch hunt about what?
About just dismissing people.
Oh.
It's not how somebody want to come here and tell us that the try to put in measure, they try to professionalize this thing. Are you the only professional person here? What do you even know about security? Some of us should be talking about security here. You don't have no understanding of anything. But because those guys are perceived to be associates of the former civil Jewozi, they are perceived to be initiation.
Well, that is not the reason given by the MCC. They say they abandon jobs. So if we can get in touch with some of them and tell us exactly if they were going to work and they still dismissed, then that's an issue. But thanks so kindly, Musa. Yeah, quickly.
I didn't end my statement about the visual, right? I think it's a visual. They are not professionalizing anything. They just want to go after people because of their association. And this is extremely wrong.
Okay.
And I was telling you, if you can remember, I said in Liberia, sorry, let me just close on this note, that and I'm saying it with no regret. I don't love Liberia. I love my personal interest. What benefit me is what I go for. That is the reason why I am that hard and I go for the Mujahideen of George Weah retaining to the power.
When you call yourself Mujahideen, you know we Mujahideen are very good. But I see you.
No,
Who the Mujahideen?
Mujahideen are strong believer and follower of God.
Okay, let me go define it. I'll go check it.
Yeah,
let's take a few more calls. Our guest is in. At 5 o'clock, Senator Sir Joseph will be here. Let's go international before we come back local. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Frank.
Hello.
Go ahead, Frank.
Good afternoon, Julius. Frank gives you a report from Paris.
Okay.
Julia, I got one issue, two quick issues. One is with OKFM and one with the shaking hand of the president, George Weah and Jeremiah Cole. Now, the first issue here is everybody knows the circumstances leading to the death of Senator Prince Johnson is still unquestionable. We are told that Jeremiah Cole and the senator has some interaction 2 days after the president, before he died.
So what is the issue with OKFM?
We are putting his hand on his chest. I think that was prevented. Nobody knows what is happening. Definitely, President Weah is a threat to Jeremiah Cole in Lima County. Because even when Prince Johnson was alive, President Weah still had enough work.
So what are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating that the president was right to protect himself. Nobody knows
From what?
The lies of Jeremiah Cole. He was the same person.
No, man, Frank.
Now, the last issue here with OKFM, there are a lot of major issues in the country. Very, very unfortunately, OKFM has on the headline that President Weah refused to shake Jeremiah Cole's hand.
The news headline?
Yes, that the news headline.
So if hello? If there's an issue between a former French president and a current vice president, and perhaps the way they're supposed to greet each other did not go as planned, you don't think it will be a major news in the French press?
No, it cannot be.
It will be. Lead that thing, Frank. Okay, thanks so kindly. We just Frank, I beg you, man. Third to last, George Lobo, welcome.
Thank you very much, Julius. It's a pleasure to join you this afternoon. Okay. How you doing, my dear brother?
I'm fine, go ahead.
Okay, so straight to the point real quick. A few things I just wanted to bring clarity to. The very first thing, why it is true we are saddened by the passing of Senator Johnson, and I think the president has demonstrated that he went to his house. Even at the president's program in the evening, the president made mention of the 2 statements passed. A few things we must understand. The program that was held in the net was hosted by the JMV Foundation, which technically is an NGO. We saw.
But he went there.
Yes, that's what. Come on, yeah, it's his foundation, but it's an NGO. So he went there to support it because the NGO had this plan. There were people who even flew in from South Africa, Julius, that came for that.
Was a dinner celebration at his house?
The celebration, there was celebration at his house, but the foundation had planned a dinner program for a fundraiser. This foundation has been going around making series of donations. This foundation brought in over 25 incubators that were donated to hospitals.
And so, what is the point?
So my point here is that people must not conflict what the foundation hosted in the night. I used to say it was the president and the government celebrating his birthday. It wasn't so. It was
But at that farm, is it true that they gave out tickets to government entities? We saw a whole lot of government officials. We didn't see just ordinary people at that foundation event. We saw high-level government officials. Well, is it true about the $20 tickets for ordinary and the 500 tickets of different parastatals of government?
Again, Judas, if you want, I can link you up with the executive director of the foundation, but I just want to make this clear.
Okay, so send me the person's number.
I will send you the foundation executive director.
Okay, thanks so kindly, Josh, for being there. Let's take two more. Then we'll go to our guest. Welcome, let's hear you. Hello. What happened there? Hello. Okay, we lost out. Let's see who's here. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
This is regarding this. I'm a chairman for the League of Gentlemen in Lokita.
League of Gentlemen. Okay. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. When it comes to handshake or meeting, a lot of people decide how to make their friends based on how they feel. So I don't know why people are making too much noise about a ghost round, buying down to Jeremiah 2 and Jeremiah 2 stretch their hands, and other people stretch their hands and go out buying down. I just think, how does that put bread on our tables? How does that do the school thing? No, I think the government needs to do more than to be honest of the propaganda and to start people like factory owners. So I don't get those information that even come to the media. Like the English school was saying that a decade.
4 decades.
4 decades. Can you imagine that? How do you do that in this our country? That people are on social media these days. Information at everybody's doorstep.
Okay.
Depends who you talk to or not.
Thanks so kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take the final one. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening,
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
I join you from the nation's capital. This is testimony back.
Go ahead, testimony.
And let me thank to you, just basically an entire workforce of okay for the job you do on a daily basis. But you see, my attention is squarely on the way factory owners behave and for criminal crowd to perform the issue of the legal seat for presidential affairs. You can't do that as a government official. Now, if you are a government official, particularly factory owner who makes
Hey, the man not making 50,000, man. The man is not making 15,000. No, talk. I'm mentioning the morning video. Why a lot of men say feedback for?
Yeah, but I'm talking about everything. You can't jump on the social media and you come up with information that are not at all on the conversation there. If you have an information and you are in the government sector and you know how to get to the ministry of traffic, everything is just jump on the radio and falsify the information. All the money the federal government wants is to.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. If the opposition does that, Daniel Mann says, geostatically, government officials were right on the gasoline price, what affects prices in the market, taxes, exchange rates, and so on. If the exchange rate for a while has been 180, definitely the transportation fare should have been affected positively. What do you say it should have again? If the rate were to come down to 100, should the price still be maintained? That one that the government has a question. That's a question people have been asking. The rate has dropped, prices remain up, and all of that. So they were wrong to post falsehood just to make it appear like the government is doing certain things about certain things. What I need to say, and I will continue to say, learn to know that when people come to power, their conditions, their lives will change. Things they never used to do, because they have money, they earning money, they'll be able to use that money to make themselves feel happy. It is their right, the money they earn, to use it how they feel like. Whether you think that's slavery, once there's no evidence that they corrupt the system, I do not think people should envy, have issues with those kinds of things, because it is a reality of life. Conditions will change. Learn by yourself, push yourself. You know, the thing I push someone else to go to the schools and all that stuff. Because we saw that post, and then we went international. We tried, we hustle for scholarship. Hustle. Yeah, don't be fooled by these politicians. They come there, they will use their money to travel, they will go from places, they will eat good food. Who won't continue eating bad food always when they're making money? Who won't continue not to look correct when they're making money? Cyrus Maggie, welcome from the States. You're the final one. Let me squeeze you in.
Thank you, Julius. I'm calling from Minnesota, the USA. Thanks for the okay conversation. I mean, quickly to your two main points I pick up. One, the issue of President Walker's celebration. Like you put it, from Vice President Kuhn, leads to say the majority black leader, Koga, these people are not people I believe he's happy with. And trust me, he will not show it. I mean, he will not keep it. I mean, recognizing you, I think if you watched another video when he was leaving, he and the Vice President made each other go back in the same fashion.
Yeah, the same hand on the chest and bowing.
Former President, we have put your hands on his chest, and they departed. So I don't see any issue with that. We are will be we are will not have experience on you, and he's not that kind of person that will fit.
Okay.
Thanks for the conversation, bro.
Internet service, fast, reliable service. For your home and your office, unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose.
I can see anything to my horse. I can even talk to the person from my horse. I'm gonna just get data and the video can be clear. When I rode there, I can just press the alarm and it will make a big noise for people to come around. But it don't let my watchman camera that good thing. For sure. When we want in my office get it to her horse, she can use it to check on her children to know what they're doing to the horse. But I wanted to be checking on my shop. You know the man can bust my shop every time.
Get the easy-to-use Watchman and protect what you love most. Protect your shop with just one click on the phone. You can purchase Watchman camera at our office on Russell Avenue between 50 and 16th Street, at the Lone Star Cell MTN office on Tottenham Boulevard, or at any major Lone Star Cell POS around the city. Additionally, our cameras are available at major electronics and building material store. For more information, call 0770-766-485 or 0880-766-485. My Watchman, we keep an eye out for you.
Time, the taste of pride, so smooth, so fine. From coast to coast, we are feeling free. Lone Star beer for you and for me.
Hey, baby, what are you talking about?
It's Lone Star beer.
Lone Star beer? Tell me more about it, baby.
Yes, Lone Star beer, the newest beer in town. It refreshes your mind, cools your temple after a stressful day of work. Try a bottle and you will surely love it.
Wow, so refreshing. Where can I find Lone Star beer?
Lone Star beer is available in shops, stores, and marketplaces, and is proudly brought to you by Soso Premium. For sales and inquiries, call cell number +231 555 364105. Lone Star beer. Drink responsibly for 18 years and above.
For my African girls, then my American girls, then.
Welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us Dr. Jerry Kula, will I be right to say Bishop?
No.
Okay, Dr. Jerry Kula.
Right.
Welcome to the OK Conversation on OK FM 99.5. How's life going?
I'm very good. I've been very busy on the weekend up to yesterday. I was involved in revival services at one of the churches where I had up in the bridge, and then I went up country and did ministry with the people in the rural community there in Boncante and came back Sunday. So I kind of like lost my voice a little bit of more the talking, but I'm doing well there. I'm doing very well.
Which of the churches did you go to do business?
Oh, I was
preach
at,
to?
I was at the 72nd Methodist Church there. We had a revival last week. I was one of the speakers. I was invited, and I went there and spoke on Friday.
You can just lift the microphone up a little bit directly to you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so I was there preaching, and the theme of the revival was "Do Not Bow." Do not bow from.
That sounds like a faucet team.
It is a theme of encouragement. Encouraging people to stand up for biblical Christianity, encouraging people to not bow to false, Christianity. So in Daniel chapter 3, verse 17, it tells the story about the three Hebrew guys who were asked to bow to the golden image. Today we may not have a golden image, we have many other symbolism of golden images around us. And so if you will stand for biblical Christianity, you must determine not to bow to any system.
Well, I have a letter here that is addressed to you. Let me find that letter. Let me find the letter. Yeah, I have it here. Suspending you. The letter was written on November 22, 2024.
Yeah.
And it's written to you, Reverend Dr. Jerry P. Kula, Vice President for Graduate and Professional Studies, United Methodist University. Dear Reverend Dr. Kula, grace to you and peace from God, the Father, and the Lord Jesus Christ. This letter is to inform you that you are herewith suspended indefinitely from all ministerial functions, including teaching, counseling, preaching, and making representation for and on behalf of the United Methodist University and the Liberia Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church, with immediate effect pending the outcome of the judicial process, consistent with the United Methodist Church Book of Discipline 2016. Your immediate suspension is based on a letter of complaint filed against you by the Interim Church Council on allegations that your conduct over the past months stands in violation of the UMC Book of Discipline. You are therefore urged to cooperate with the investigation. You've been suspended from preaching and all of that, and you were talking about preaching at a Methodist church revival. This is defiance against authority.
Well, what you need to know, Julius, is that I am a child of God. I've been walking with the Lord Jesus Christ for the past 47 years. Of the precious life God has given me. The Lord Jesus Christ called me and saved me and gave me a mission and ministry. I belong to a system, the United Methodist Church, and we have a bishop who's supposed to be committed to the Holy Scripture and to this book of discipline you see in my hand here. His actions were premeditated over several months, and they did not deserve my honoring of his request for me to not preach. He did not call me. Bishop Samuel Jerome Kwai Jr. did not call me to ministry, so he cannot stop me from preaching, from teaching, from counseling. Over the years, I've been leading many people to faith in Jesus Christ and discipling them. I will continue to do that by the mandate that Jesus gives me to go and preach and make disciples of our nation. Bishop Choir has authority over the United Methodist Church, and he appointed me to be vice president of the School of Graduate and Professional Studies. That he can take away, but he cannot take away my God-given ability, skills, and spiritual gifts.
You could preach elsewhere and not a Methodist church.
I'm a United Methodist pastor. I'm an elder in full connection. And so I can preach anywhere.
Let us come to the reasons for your suspension. Were you made apprised of the reasons?
Well, you see the letter that the bishop sent is so vague. It does not have anything specific in it. However, there have been several complaints levied against me by the two fellows,
Who?
Reverend Momo Kwan and Reverend Caleb S.G. Doma, before this time. So it's just like a repetition of the complaints. And I also have levied 4 complaints against Reverend Doma, and Bishop has not paid attention to any of them. For example, 2022, when the whole saga started.
Which saga?
Of people opposing biblical Christianity in the United Methodist Church.
What does that mean?
What that means is that Bishop Samuel Jerome Choir has been our colleague. We all have worked together over the past 8 years of his leadership as Bishop of the United Methodist Church. We've done so much ministry together, both in country, in Africa, and in America and other parts of the world. Okay, and I have been one of his colleagues who have kind of worked to introduce him to some of the contacts that I've had. Okay, and we'll talk about some of them. So, 2022, when it became very glaring that the United Methodist Church has become liberal and was determined to pursue the path of legalizing same-sex marriage and approving the ordination of LGBTQ people as pastors and consecrating their bishops in the church. When they started doing that, up in 2022, the guy who was a gay bishop now, Cedric Bridgeford, Bishop Choir, and all of us, we talk about the future of the church. Bishop Choir, leading us, went from district to district. The video is available.
Yeah, I played here before.
Okay, he went from district to district, informing the districts. Look, this is what the situation is in the Methodist Church right now. If we go to General Conference 2022, COVID stopped us from going to General Conference 2022. If we go to General Conference 2022, and the General Church decides to legalize same-sex marriage, the United Methodist Church in Liberia will leave the worldwide denomination and become its own denomination, or maybe join another denomination expression. And specifically, Bishop Choir was telling everybody we'll go onto the global Methodist Church. So today, folks are saying Jericho is the one who is leading the way. Bishop Choir actually was the one leading us as our bishop. So he did that.
What has changed?
What changed 2023 October. Up to 2020 September 11, Bishop Choir went to Nana Crew, where we had Nana Crew district, and the people were speaking Crew. As you were speaking, they were interpreting, and you told the people, this is what is happening. Do you want to be a part of a church where men getting married, women getting married? People said, no, we don't want. So the moment they do that, we are leaving. That was September 11. When he left from there, he went to the College of Bishops meeting in 2022, and then several of his colleagues have already been bought over by the liberals who make up about 80% of the Council of Bishops. But Bishop Choir stood his ground and refused to engage them. Then when he left from there, he came back October. He was invited to the Council of Bishops meeting in the United States. When Bishop Choir came back, he somersaulted and left all of us alone and began to preach progressive and liberal theology. And so December 21, one of the senior leaders and myself, we had a meeting with Bishop in his office along with his administrative assistant called Joel Good. Let me call his name. So Joel Good was sitting with Bishop and had 2 hours, 30 minutes meeting with Bishop, telling him what the situation is, and we're very concerned that he was kind of changing his language, his attitude and behavior, and that was not healthy for the future of the church, given the kind of a biblical commitment we have to evangelical biblical theology. Bishop said to us, gentlemen, why don't we stay within the United Methodist Church and change things over? And then we told him about economic factor and the spiritual factor, the status of our church, the size of our church, and everything. We said, Bishop, the best thing for us to maintain our integrity, to remain faithful to Jesus Christ, and to continue to lead the church, grow in the church, we must go to the conference and do the best we can. But if the people make the decision, just like as we said in 2022, let's remain firm and disassociate from the worldwide denomination, because we just cannot be a part of a gay denomination. So right now there are 2 lesbians who are bishops in the church, and there is one gay
in the U.S.
In the U.S., but the United Methodist Church is a connectional church. What that means is that as an elder here, I can go to any part of the church and any part of the world and be an elder in the United Methodist Church. I'm not starting all over. So any bishop elected in any part of the world becomes my bishop. So as I'm sitting here today, I have 2 lesbians who are bishops for me, and I have one gay who is also a bishop. Guess what? When I led the delegation as the head of the delegation from Liberia to the recent General Conference,
the
24,
okay,
General Conference in Charlotte, North Carolina, Karen Oliveto, a lesbian bishop, she came and presided over the whole conference. And she introduced herself as, I am the Reverend Karen Oliveto, a lesbian bishop of the United Methodist Church. As head of the delegation, I was constrained to sit there on the hall. Otherwise, I would not done that, even though some people walk out because of the situation. But I sat there and went through all of that. We came back from the General Conference. We prepared a report for the General Conference, and we had agreed in February 12 to 18, when we met in Buchanan, that when we come back, we have a special section to provide what happened at the General Conference. Prior to this time, the bishop, before going to the Council of Bishop meeting, set up a committee called the Wayfire Committee. So go around the conference and sample the opinion to ensure that what the people will say align with our determination to leave the UMC. And so that committee went around the country and then interviewed the people. And the people's opinion were consistent with ours. So the Wayfire Committee report is available. So that at the annual conference, the committee presented her report. Then the bishop appealed to the annual conference. Said, please hold on to this report. Let the delegation that Jericho is leading to the general conference go. And then whatever happened there, when they come back, then we have a special section and then listen to make a decision based upon the report from the general conference. And this report that we have listened to, where about 90 or more % of the people say they don't want to be a part of a church that legalizes same-sex marriage and ordain lesbian and gays as bishop. So what happened there, which combine and make a decision. But since we came, Bishop Samuel Jerome Choir has refused to have a dialogue. So what he has done, he came determined to regionalize the church as a mandate for the Council of Bishops.
What does regionalization mean?
Regionalization is a concept that was introduced in 2008. I've been going to General Conference in 2008, all right? And then so it's a concept that says, it is built upon a philosophy called the Big Tent philosophy. So the United Methodist Church, the worldwide denomination, is a kind of a big tent, and you have several annual conferences from around the world are part of that. However, all United Methodist don't believe the same, don't think the same, they have different theology, and others are saying, look, homosexuality is a way of life for us. So what we should do, let's regionalize the church. Let everybody worship God based upon their region, their culture and tradition in their region, not necessarily the Holy Bible. And each person should have their own constitution. So you have one denomination with now about 9 constitution if it is ratified. Okay, then you practice Christianity based upon your culture. In that way, those who want to practice same-sex marriage will be free to do that. Like, for example, in America now, where you have 2 lesbians as bishop, and they have hundreds of them as pastors now in the local church, they can do that in America. In Liberia, because it's against national law and also it's against our traditional biblical beliefs, we will not practice it. But we can all be one church. We can all be one church, but we may not practice it. Other people might practice it there. Okay, so just enshrining your constitution and live. Now, so that is the argument. So if you listen to Bishop Choir very well, he tells you I'm against same-sex marriage. I'm against, I will not practice it. No pastor will practice it on my wife. That's beautiful. We say the same. But where is the dividing line? Bishop Choir is saying, because the General Conference passed these laws, okay, we as United Methodist in Liberia, we should remain a part of the church and endorse the decisions of the General Conference. But by doing that, the question is, how does that align with the teachings of Scripture? Especially when the Bible says in Genesis 18 and 19 that sodomy is a sin, when the Bible says in Leviticus 18:22 that it is an abomination for a man to sleep with another man like he does with a woman, when the Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 to 11 that homosexuals will go to hell, when the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 1:10 that homosexuality is evil, Romans chapter 1, verse 24 to 27, the Bible says that people who got involved with those practices, especially in the Greco-Roman world, they were destroyed. They destroyed themselves by that. So the Bible says, flee fornication and flee adultery. Marriage is honorable in all and the bed undefiled. But warmongers and adulterers God will judge. So today at the General Conference we went, they pass on same-sex marriage. They pass on even they remove fidelity in marriage. In other words, adultery now is permissible in the United Methodist Church. They remove celibacy in singleness. In other words, fornication is also acceptable. So January 1, 2025, the new book of discipline that will replace this one will have all of those things enshrined in it. And so we said to Bishop Wire, in light of all of this, all the decisions passed at General Conference are inconsistent with our practice. So regionalization is sin. We cannot regionalize the Bible. We cannot regionalize the church. We cannot regionalize the doctrine. And we can't preach two different gospels. If I leave from today, for example, very soon I'll be going to the U.S. If I go there in a Methodist church that is aligned with gay practices, I will have to preach a gospel different from what I preach here because I'll be endorsing what they already believe in practicing there. Mm-hmm. Then when I come to Liberia, I say homosexuality is sin. So I'm preaching two different gospels. And that is what the Bible says. So in Galatians chapter 1, verse 6 to 9, the Bible says, anyone who has dared to preach another gospel other than what Jesus has taught us in his word, let him be anathema. Okay? And speaking about the whole idea about that person being destroyed and all of that. So we are saying to Bishop Choir, we can't do this. So Bishop Choir has gone ahead and said, look, Jerry Kula, they report your bra. Take out this one. Because he wants take out stuff from the report that says that regionalization was passed, and this is what regionalization means from the context of the General Conference. We should remove it from there. And then other things he had to remove. So to Bishop Choir, sorry, you cannot sanction the report. The report is not for you. The report is for the Liberia Annual Conference. It will be delivered to the Liberia Annual Conference at the special course section or at the annual conference. So he got angry with me. And since then, we've been going on and on with this. So this suspension is long overdue.
So what are the complaints that these other people filed against you? Are you aware of what the complaints are?
Yes. One of the complaints is that I'm associated with a church called the Mohorep Global Methodist Church. This church was a United Methodist Church until December 2023, when this church disaffiliated from the UMC in good conscience.
Where is it located?
In South Carolina, Lexington, South Carolina.
Okay.
But this church has been a United Methodist Church. And as a United Methodist pastor and evangelist, I invited the senior pastor here. And then when I realized that this church, has some financial potency, I introduced the pastor to our resident bishop, Bishop Choir. I encouraged Bishop Choir to go to South Carolina and build a relationship. Bishop Choir went there, built a relationship with this guy, and then and we share about the need for agriculture. They sent somebody here to help build our capacity, right? Bishop Choir invited this guy and even conferred upon him an honorary doctorate degree. Now, these guys like Caleb Doma and Momokma don't know these things because they are not kind of in this hierarchy of connection and leadership with the bishop like some of us have had the privilege to be. So now they write that as a crime that I'm friendly with somebody who is a member of the Global Methodist Church, a Global Methodist Church that disaffiliated from the United Methodist Church. Now, the Global Methodist Church is a very good church, right? It's a very good denomination. It is the United Methodist evangelicals who were in the UMC who used to join us Africans to vote against all the vices. That's the reason why they have never passed all this time. But by 2022, it became apparent that the leadership now in America had become so liberal and progressive that they were not obeying the book of discipline anymore. So the evangelicals there, they got tired. They said, look, We want to preach Jesus. We want to go ahead and make disciples. So we can't keep fighting. Let them have all the millions of dollars that the church has. We leave and start afresh. So they left on May 1, 2022 and birthed a new denomination called the Global Methodist Church. So that Global Methodist Church is now there. Most of the evangelical went there. So as a result, when we went to this Gone General Conference, we could not win the vote because all of our colleagues who used to join us from Africa had already left. Besides that, African bishops now have been bought over by the laborers to the extent that some of the delegates who joined us were voting under duress. They could not even vote in support of the biblical stance of Africa, including my own delegates. We should have been 18, but many did not have visa. So we had to get some alternates to join us. And so we're only 16. But out of the 16, 6 now we're aligning with Bishop's philosophy of going and supporting regionalization and making sure that it passes. Then when we come to Liberia, they will make sure it passes. So that's the struggle we have had. So out of the 16, when we had all the discussion about writing the report, 6 kept declining to allow the report to be what it ought to be. So as a result of it, only 10 persons signed the report out of the 16. However, it became the official report. And that is what we have available for the Liberia Annual Conference. And whenever Bishop Choir calls the annual conference or the special section or whatever, it is this report that the Liberia Annual Conference will receive as the report for the General Conference. Now, let me just mention this. So having come back, and then the whole church have been very angry. As I speak to you now, we have 20 districts and 2 circuits. And if you were to just do your assignment, go to those 20 districts and 2 circuits and do sample their opinion, you will realize that almost all of them, except maybe very few, will align. Almost all of them will not align with Bishop Choir philosophy of regionalization, because after all, regionalization is not new. We have been regionalized already. The Marylanders, they eat what? Palm butter. All right? They brought from Cape Mana, Cassava Lake. They brought from Nimada, GB. So that's their regional context. So you don't have to come introduce another regionalization in disguise when you know that that is a cover-up for the practice of same-sex marriage in parts of the UMC world or in some other regions of the world. So this is what the situation is. Finally, Bishop Choir thought through everything. He said, well, I will not have any dialogue. I will refuse to have any meeting. So I get invited. We had a press conference. He said, well, we had a press, Ivory Coast had a press conference. They all left the UMC because they said they can't condone same-sex marriage and all of that. Nigeria had their own special section, and they all left to join the Global Methodist Church. If I have mine, the people will leave. So do you want to hold us hostage? So everybody who has been very vocal and critical about Bishop's behavior and attitude and his regionalization plan, he started suspending all of them. So all the guys who have been working along with me, it has been a strategy to suspend them, then finally come to me to suspend me so that when we go to the annual conference in February, he will claim that we are under suspension and cannot participate in the annual conference to manipulate the process and pass the purported regionalization plan.
This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. We have with us Reverend Dr. Jerry Kula. It must be stated I've been making attempts to meet with the bishop. I know we had a meeting scheduled one time and then it got cut off. I don't know whether he can call somebody from his office, but these are very, very major claims being made. Others will say, you don't need to be a Methodist. Why those of you who disagree, that's one argument. If you disagree, leave the Methodist church. You can go to a different church or you do something else.
Create the forum. Let's have the conversation. Create a forum. Know that the bishop is not a part of this conference. He's not a part of the United Methodist Church in Liberia. He's part of the Council of Bishops. So you cannot even make a decision for the annual conference. So the annual conference will meet and decide as annual conference. So I am part of an annual conference, and so the annual conference should meet. When we decide, and then the decision is made, then you can now decide, say, okay, in light of the decision, I'll remain with the UMC. Or in light of the decision, I will go my separate, or my local church will go, or my entire district will go away from the UMC. So it's nothing like going as an individual. No, it is the annual conference. And I am a very pivotal person for the fact that I am the head of the delegation of the Liberal Annual Conference to the General Conference and to the Central Conference. In a week's time, we will be having the Central Conference in Accra, Ghana. So I, as the head of delegation, I'm close with that responsibility to take the delegates there.
But the way most of you are on a suspension, are you going?
Of course, the Book of Discipline has nothing to do with that. So that is an international representation based upon duly elected members that has little or nothing to do with an internal struggle or issues like that. So anybody who is, thinking that because Bishop is, suspending some of the delegates because he does not want their voice in the conference, that will stop them from going to represent the annual conference that elected them, they are making a sad mistake.
Okay. Let's take some calls. Hopefully we can hear from the bishop office or his side. We've made efforts. They've not materialized. 777-700-995, 555-995-995. The numbers to call. We're hosting the Reverend Dr. Jerry Kula right here. The issues in the United Methodist Church are continuing. Let's go. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for having me on your platform. Happy Mother and Virginia of the Intellectual District number 14.
Go ahead.
Say good afternoon to your guests who are following the show. Once it's about Jesus, it's about obeying the gospel. Anyone who comes to honor any pretense we will stand fixing you. So I want to call upon this letter, the bishop. It's issue that has to do with regionalization. I'm not a Methodist, but this has to do with the reputation of the church. This has to do with all Christians. There's nothing in Christianity called same-sex marriage. As a matter of fact, if we look at biblical history, there's the same reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm sure this bishop has read sufficiently and he knows the consequences of having such connection with people. But, there's the antichrist where people will sell their belly, just to get money. And the Bible itself says that money is the root of all evil. Why can this bishop further sue? I really condemn this. Come up from there. The Methodists are rich people. They have universities. They have high schools. There's no reason of forcing yourself to be aligned with the U.S. If the U.S. want to adopt the same-sex marriage, everything you can't do that yet. And that's there should be a caveat to this bishop that we Christians will not send, and support him and do nothing. Any attempt by him as an ancestor will be fully rejected.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon.
Frank Gibson. Hello. Having some challenges with the internet here. Okay. Let's see who's on this side. Welcome. Let's hear you. Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you. Just listen through the phone, Malcolm. Listen through the phone. And listen through the phone, Malcolm. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I hope that the internet service is not distorting the conversation. I'm saying one because, we're a different part of the...
My man, it's afternoon to us. Say afternoon. Leah with the American time.
Okay, but, on serious note regarding the topic, I'm calling because in the month, and it's a sad time that the heads of the church are in leading with vision, and that's why I think the basic grace of our bishop has diminished, and I see more chaotic, problematic, and divided Methodist church.
in the days and months ahead. Remember, we have an annual conference pending for February. I'm not sure whether that conference will be successful. I'm sensing that there will be disruption and a whole lot of chaotic scene. The bishop has ruined the image of the church, and it's a sad thing that we've gone away from the traditional way of worship. The highest is because of the lack of leadership. We've written as vice president of the Moral District, I've written the bishop on 3 different occasions to ensure that it is ensured the church is reconciled and worship and refrain to this traditional norms and beliefs. Sadly, the bishop is being consumed by people who gave him different, readings of what he thinks the church should be. For those reasons, the church has slipped down in a deep pit of criticism, and then the unchristian behavior of the way we carry ourselves. It is sad, and I'm hoping that, I don't know what Charles and John Wesley will do right now in that greatest work. They don't have, hope in the way and teachings they taught us. The regrettable thing is that they use young adult and children unborn who don't have any account of what the church looked at in the past because of the decimal and poor episcopal grades of the bishop.
Okay, thanks so kindly, Malcolm. Let's take more calls. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Julius.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you so much for this great opportunity. This is B.G. Yeswa. And let me say good evening to Reverend Kula. And, Julius, I admire when you ask a question relative to if you don't support the process of being in Alabama Church, what you can move. And my pastor was just to answer the question. The fact of the matter is that he talked about Global Methodist Church. The Global Methodist Church, where we're based, they're based in the state United States of America. Julius, the Global Methodist is talking about the big bishop for in Liberia. The issue is an issue of power greed.
Hello.
Yeah, why?
Let's take it easy. Do you support regionalization in the United Methodist Church of Liberia?
And that's the decision. So Jiplin is my father support that. I am the son of the bishop, Reverend Dr. Samuel Jerome Kwai Jr.
Okay, so you want for the Methodist Church to be in collaboration with the other Methodist churches around the world that are accepting gay bishops and all of that?
Julius, are you leaving from here going to the U.S. and enter Washington, D.C. for a plea? Are you a gay? Are you a gay? The answer is no. I am a Liberian. My constitution, my culture, my tradition against gay. By American policy, gay does not necessarily mean that they don't even agree that I'm be a gay.
Will you be able to stop a gay pastor, bishop, whosoever from preaching in the United Methodist Church in Liberia?
It's not possible. It's not even possible.
How is it not possible?
It's not possible. The bishop, even you sitting in the studio, you will not even see a gay bishop enter Liberia introduce yourself as a gay bishop or
but the person doesn't need to introduce himself or herself.
The fact that he pronounced that particular name into the prophet church. That's the fact.
Okay. Thanks so kindly, Jiplin. Charles says it is sad that this is being supported by the church. The church shouldn't even be having this kind of conversation. Yeah. It's sad for the Christian community and not just the Methodist Church. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Julius, good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Wilpia Abraham Thomas from Johnsonville, District number 2.
Go ahead.
And Julius, I think the bishop in studio is right. We might not be Methodist. He's a reverend, not a bishop. Sorry. But by virtue of we being Christian, I think we have to live by the norms and principles of the doctrine of Christianity. So I believe that, especially from the way how the concept he has perfected, the idea of regionalization is an acceptance of this gay right being practiced in the Methodist Church in the gap. For the fact that you get a Methodist bishop in America can also be accepted as a Methodist bishop in Liberia. It means that you will always have the audience. If a Methodist church in Liberia has a conference or has a program and it invites you, you will have that audience to be referred to by that title as a bishop. And recognize now on the platform as a bishop. So what's the rationality in it? This is just a discuss. This is something in discuss. Now let us through them. Let us accept the regionalization by the traditional principles in the north of their country, and then when they are there or baptized into it, tomorrow everyone can prefer or whatever we have accepted by our conference law. So my or like he said, today you're deceiving the Christians because they're talking about gay and sexualism and all of those things are in the Bible. Every one of us we know it very well. So you being there as one of the pastors that they are fighting to agree and you disagree, fighting, all those things people are doing over there is all about money. Yeah, those people from the West, they got the money. And they who in like they don't have the money. So in order for them to receive support from the West, they have to agree for what they will say for America. So he shouldn't have the money. Let him and the religion, his character come first. Let him resign. And for his own church, and then I believe that God will bless him that it's good. The Bible says that the truth shall set you free, but you have to go beyond saying the truth, and you have to do this thing by resigning or going to another church or even forming your own church, not to be there fighting with the people because it might overcome him because of money. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. So kindly, this person says, should Christians even be discussing same-sex marriage? The organic law of the Christian is the Bible, not culture. Stand by the Bible, brother. Okay, let's take one more call. We're anticipating Senator Cy Joseph. Welcome.